With the Buccaneers having just won the Super Bowl and Tom Brady winning his 7th championship, I thought the best way to commemorate this achievement is to talk about Brady's old team. Wherever you rank Brady among the football greats, there's no doubting that he helped lead the Patriots into becoming arguably the most successful American sports franchise of the 21st century. Although, did you know that all of this glory was built upon 3 different events over the course of a decade? Today, we're going to go through this timeline of events to visualize how the Patriots created a dynasty, and I would like to quickly thank these comments that inspired this video to be made. If you have your own butterfly effect scenario, leave it down in the comments. This story begins in 1997, at the conclusion of the 1996 season. The Patriots were facing the Green Bay Packers in Super Bowl 31. The Patriots lost this game and would leave the Superdome still searching for their first Super Bowl title. After this loss, Patriots head coach Bill Parcells resigned from his role and intended to become head coach of the New York Jets. Patriots owner Robert Kraft believed the Jets were tampering with Parcells so he could become their new head coach. In response, the Jets hired Parcells' assistant head coach, Bill Belichick, as the new Jets head coach for the 1997 season. The Jets also intended to hire Parcells as an advisor to Belichick and to take over head coaching duties after the season. Kraft was not pleased and demanded that the Jets send a first-round pick as compensation. Commissioner Paul Tagliabue arranged an agreement between the two teams. The Patriots received a third-round and fourth-round pick in the 1997 draft, a second-round pick in the 1998 draft, and a first-round pick in the 1999 draft. In the end, Parcells and Belichick would be with the Jets, the Patriots received compensation, and would hire 49ers defensive coordinator Pete Carroll as their new head coach. Now we are finally in the 1997 regular season. The Patriots ended this season with a 10-6 record, but lost in the divisional round against the Steelers. The Jets dramatically improved from a 1-15 record in 1996 to a 9-7 record in 1997. Heading into the offseason, the Patriots tendered restricted free agent running back Curtis Martin. If a team were to sign him, they would have to give the Patriots a first and third-round pick. Considering he was a 2-time Pro Bowler in just 3 seasons at the age of 24, he was a coveted player. And guess who picked him up? Yep, the New York Jets. With that first-round pick, the Patriots selected a replacement running back, Robert Edwards. Time for the 1998 season. The Patriots made the playoffs with a 9-7 record, but lost in the wild card round. Curtis Martin performed at a similar level to his rookie replacement in New England, Robert Edwards. Unfortunately, after a great rookie campaign, Edwards was injured in the Rookie Beach Bowl, a flag football game that was played before the Pro Bowl. This injury put Edwards' career to a screeching halt. He nearly had to have his leg amputated, and there was a real possibility he would never walk again. Fortunately, he was able to return to the NFL in 2002 with the Dolphins. However, at the time, this was a huge loss for the Patriots. If it's of any consolation, the Patriots drafted future Pro Bowl center Damien Woody with their first-round pick in the 1999 draft. In the 1999 season, the Patriots finished with an 8-8 record and missed out on the playoffs for the first time since 1995. Head coach Pete Carroll was fired. In January 2000, the Patriots pursued Jets assistant head coach Bill Belichick, who of course left the Patriots a few years prior. After Jets head coach Bill Parcells retired following the 1999 season, Belichick was next in line for the role. However, he was only Jets head coach for 1 day, as he wrote his resignation letter on a napkin. He cited the Jets' uncertain ownership situation as the main reason why he resigned. Like the Patriots did with Parcells, the Jets denied Belichick permission to speak with other teams. The NFL upheld Belichick's contractual obligations to the Jets, resulting in Belichick suing the NFL. In the end, the Patriots sent a 2000 first-round pick and their 4th and 7th round picks in the 2001 draft to the Jets. The Jets sent Belichick a 2001 5th rounder and 2002 7th rounder. Robert Kraft basically gave Belichick complete control over football operations. In Belichick's first draft with the Patriots, he didn't own his first round pick as it was sent to the Jets. Although we all know the pick he made in the 6th round at number 199 overall. Tom Brady. Robert Edwards' injury resulted in Bill Belichick replacing Pete Carroll the following season as the Patriots missed the playoffs, allowing Belichick to draft Brady. Also, you can't say that he just stumbled into Brady. Belichick knows who he's drafting. An ex-NFL scout said that the Patriots notoriously have really small draft boards. Belichick said in a post-draft press conference that his value board placed Brady at the top. As he showed in college, he could compete in high-pressure situations. On draft day, Belichick wondered why no one was drafting Brady in the middle rounds. So he waited as long as possible and pulled the trigger. Other notable draft picks from the 2000 draft class include running back J.R. Redmond and right tackle Greg Randall. In Belichick's first season as head coach in 2000, the team finished 5-11. In the 2001 offseason, the team signed longtime quarterback Drew Bledsoe to a then-record 10-year, $103 million contract. In the 2001 NFL Draft, the Patriots selected 2 future All-Pros, defensive tackle Richard Seymour and left tackle Matt Light. Now, we are in 2001. In week 2 of the 2001 season, Bledsoe was injured by a tackle from Mo Lewis, an injury that nearly cost Bledsoe his life, as the tackle resulted in a sheared blood vessel in the chest. The backup QB, Tom Brady, became the starter. He thrived in the role, pushing Bledsoe to the backup slot, even when he was healthy. The team finished with an 11-5 record, resulting in a first-round bye. The first game was the infamous Tuck Rule game against the Raiders, where a Brady fumble would be ruled as an incomplete pass. The rule stated, when an offensive player is holding the ball to pass it forward, any intentional forward movement of his arm starts as a forward pass, even if the player loses possession of the ball as he is attempting to tuck it back toward his body. Also, if the player has tucked the ball into his body and then loses possession, it is a fumble. In the end, the Patriots would win. In the AFC Conference Championship, Brady injured his ankle, but Drew Bledsoe came off the bench and beat a heavily favored Steelers team. The Patriots would play in Super Bowl 36 against MVP Kurt Warner and the greatest show on turf, who had beaten the Patriots in the regular season. Belichick's defensive game plan and Tom Brady's final drive allowed the Patriots to win their first Super Bowl in franchise history. Brady would sign a long-term contract, and Bledsoe was traded to the Bills for a 2003 first-round pick. In the 2002 draft, Belichick drafted some valuable players, such as tight end Daniel Graham, receiver Deion Branch, and defensive end Jarvis Green. Unfortunately for the Patriots, they missed out on the 2002 playoffs with a 9-7 record. However, 2003 is when the Patriots Dynasty really began to form. Using the first-round pick the Bills sent for Bledsoe, the Patriots traded it to the Bears to move up one selection. The Patriots drafted future All-Pro defensive tackle Ty Warren. The team also drafted future All-Pros Asante Samuel and Dan Koppen, among other future starters. This is one of the best drafts of the Belichick era. Early into the 2003 season, Belichick was questioned by fans as he released Pro Bowl safety Lawyer Malloy, though the Patriots acquired safety Rodney Harrison, who turned into a fantastic player for the Patriots. They finished the season with a 14-2 record. The Patriots would end the year by beating the Panthers in Super Bowl 38. However, a certain catch in Week 17 allowed the Patriots to face the underdog Panthers, and this catch does not involve the Patriots at all. In Week 17, the Vikings and Packers were fighting for the top spot in the NFC North. The Packers were facing the playoff-bound Broncos, and the Vikings were facing the Cardinals, who had the worst record in the league. The Packers beat the Broncos, so all eyes were on the game in Arizona. Once the Vikings took a 17-6 lead, they had over 98% win probability. However, on this drive, the Cardinals would have to punt as receiver Nate Poole would drop a diving catch. Later, on an all-or-nothing Cardinals 4th down, Josh McCown is able to avoid defenders and find Steve Bush in the end zone for Bush's only touchdown of the season, but they couldn't convert the 2-point conversion. Although the Cardinals performed some trickery on the kickoff and were able to recover their onside kick. A pass interference call would also give the Cardinals a lot of extra yards. Although the Vikings defense was starting to get to McCown, and he even fumbled with 30 seconds left. This turned into a 4th and 24 with no time to spike.
He's all by himself, fires into the end zone, caught! Touchdown! No!
You might say that Nate Poole didn't land with 2 feet. Well, this was ruled as a force out, which meant that Poole only needed 1 foot to land before he was forced out or pushed out of the end zone. This rule, like the tuck rule, doesn't exist anymore, but this rule is the reason the touchdown was awarded to the Cardinals, giving them the win. Oh, and by the way, Nate Poole had 2 career touchdowns. This was one of them. The Packers and Seahawks both made the playoffs as a result of this catch. The Vikings were out. The Cardinals now pick number 3 in the draft as they now don't possess the worst record. Oh, and a quick little fun fact. Nate Poole, as a result of this catch, was given the key to the city by the Green Bay mayor. Let's move to the wild card round. Packers versus Seahawks. The only moments that matter in this game occur at the beginning of overtime, where Matt Hasselbeck uttered this infamous phrase.
Seattle has won the toss. We won the ball, we're going to score.
One of his passes did lead to a score.
The pass is picked up. The Green Bay Packers advance. Lines will talk about what he said. No.
Now it's the divisional round, Packers versus Eagles. The only play that matters in this game is this 4th and 26 with a minute 12 left in the 4th quarter, which led to a game-tying field goal at the end of the quarter and a game-winning field goal in overtime as a result of this very odd passing decision by Brett Favre. In the NFC Conference Championship, the Eagles faced the Panthers, who were on an improbable playoff run. They had just beaten the Rams in a double overtime thriller the week prior. The Eagles would lose in this matchup. This leads to Super Bowl 38, the 14-2 Patriots against the fairy tale Panthers. Well, not all stories have a happy ending, as the Patriots beat the Panthers in the Super Bowl. The overall idea is that if Nate Poole doesn't make this catch, the postseason doesn't play out like it did. Hasselbeck's moment, 4th and 26, the Panthers' improbable run, and the Patriots winning the Super Bowl. And to top it all off, as the result of a trade with the Ravens in the 2003 draft, the Patriots held the 21st overall pick in the 2004 draft, which brought them future All-Pro Vince Wilfork. In the 2004 season, the Patriots would win their 2nd straight Super Bowl. Afterwards, they would continue to draft well, make acquisitions, and the rest is history. If Robert Edwards is never injured after his rookie campaign, this chain of events doesn't happen, meaning Brady and Belichick never end up with the Patriots. Just a crazy timeline of events altogether, and of course the Jets ended up on the wrong side. Although the fortunes of these two franchises may change sooner rather than later. But we know one thing for certain. Tom Brady is just going to keep on winning. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, and write down your butterfly effect scenarios in the comments. Subscribe to Raving Sports and to my channel, SportStorm. Thanks for watching.